Hey, what's going on, guys? It's zMetapod here. Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me for episode 3 of our So You Want to Use Commander series, where we will go over all commanders and help you figure out how to best utilize them in the game Rise to War. In today's third episode, we're going to be looking at the commander Hirgon. Alright guys, so like I said before, today's episode is all about Hirgon, but before we get started, first I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been watching. I'm already over 700 views and at 50 subscribers already. The support is unreal. Thank you guys so much, and remember, if you aren't subscribed yet, I'd be so grateful if you could hit the subscribe button and help me reach the 100 subscriber mark, but only if you enjoy the content though. No reason to subscribe if I'm boring you. But with that all out of the way, let's jump right into today's video about Hirgon. So let's go straight into Hirgon's skills. So his first two skills are Devotion and Herald. Devotion at level 10 deals 400% physical damage once to two enemy formations, but allied attack is minus 10 for one round. I believe that's only for Hirgon's damage, but I could be wrong. Level 5 damage is modified by the initiative stat, and at level 10 he gets plus 5 initiative. For Herald, he does 480% physical damage once to enemy formations, and 15% chance to deal the same amount of damage once again. And again, that commander initiative goes up plus 5. As you can see, initiative is a big part of his scaling. Next, we have Warden, where 3 allied formation units gain a 45% chance to evade the damage taken from the first 4 hits. At level 5 goes up to 5, and at level 10 plus 10%. Alright, and last, Red Arrow, his only healing skill, which restores 200% HP to 2 allied formation units, and the target's next instance of damage is plus 5%. When the recovery is modified again by the initiative stat. So a big thing about him is that everything is about the initiative stat. So that's a big thing for him, but unfortunately, initiative is not that great in this game, which kind of hurts Hirgon overall as a commander. So as you can see, Hirgon has 2 abilities for attacking and 2 for tanking. So I actually tried the damage build for Hirgon, and I cannot recommend the damage build. So instead, I think tank will be his best option. With that being said, I'd put 10 points into Warden and 10 points into Red Arrow if you can, and then of course put the rest of the points into Power of Bloodline. Actually, I think I kind of messed this up. So let's go ahead and add all the points into Warden and all the points into Red Arrow, and then the rest into his Bloodline. So important to note with his Bloodline, it is men only. And so if he's going to be tanking, you want to give him Swan Knights. They are the best for him to tank. So to go along with his tank formation, of course, we're going to be giving him some tanking gear. So I'm only going to be talking about the golds and purples I would use, and I'll still put the blues and greens on the screen, but those don't change so much. There's only so many of those gear options. They're going to be kind of the same through a lot of different commanders. So I'm only going to be talking about the golds and purples here, but of course the blue and greens will be on the screen for those who don't spend as much. All right, so for his weapon, for gold, we're going to start with the Reckoning for its great command and unit defense. For helmet, we're going to be using the Cask of the Submerged Isle. You could also use Call of the Forest as it gives some initiative, and also some of the focus will help with his Red Arrow healing. But I still say Cask of the Submerged Isle is his best option. For chest piece, if you just want defense, I say the High Elves Hallberg is the best option. But if you want to get a little bit of initiative in there to help out, the Explorer's outfit is also a really good option as well, as it gives some good unit defense too. And then last, I'm going to recommend Maris Reigns, as it gives great unit defense, but also command and initiative to help boost some of his recovery, which is huge. All right, so now for his purple gear, so we're going to be going mainly fully defensive here. So we're going to be doing the Purple Cutlass as it gives great command and defense. For his helmet, we're going to use the Horseman's Helm for the command and defense. Superior Hallberg for the chest, for the same reason, the great unit defense. And then last is going to be the Drums of Moria, which also give great command and defense for purple. And so last year, let's look at the gear sets I would say are the best for him. So the typical defensive ones such as Fortitude, Thick Armor, Evasive Action, Divide and Conquer, and you could actually use Agility to give him some more initiative, which could help his skills, which could help his heal scale. Those are also some good options, and also even Upkeep for his red arrow healing could also be good with his R4. So next, let's go into Hirgon's Relic. It is the red arrow, and let's look at the things it provides. Oh, no, sorry. All right. So it provides command, which is very good. Pretty much any relic that gives command is very useful for you. It gives some commander attack, commander defense, and unit defense. So technically, if you wanted to go the attack Hirgon, you could because it gives some attack, and then it also gives unit defense. So my thing with the relic here, let's take a look at the main thing, which is its special effect here, which is dual heritage. When your army is composed of only men units, it increases the recovery received by one allied formation by up to 4%. So the big thing is it has to be the whole army. It's not just Hirgon's formation. It has to be the whole army for this to even work, which you could still make that work. That is still an option. But because it's only for your entire army, like, of course, if you put the whole army as men units, then this works pretty well, but you'd have to figure out exactly what man units you want to use. Like, of course, Hirgon's going to be having Swan Knights, that's one. Maybe you could give Wozus Hunters to a couple of others to be able to get this effect. The cavalry for the men are also not horrible, they're pretty tanky. I just can't think of too many great man units that you'd really want to use. But yeah, just know that if you do use this, it has to be the whole army has to use man units. Because of how this is scaling with only the man units, honestly, I would not even put any more. I wouldn't use any mithril here. Instead, if you're going to use Hirgon, just upgrade his stats. That's the only thing I could recommend here. I would not really put anything into his relic, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew how his relic worked. Like, it has to be men units. Please keep that in mind. If the whole army is not man units, you're not getting the effect at all. Alright guys, as always, let's take a quick look at someone who might actually be using Hirgon in battle. And let's just go to the highest one. So yeah, there's a couple people. Let's see this. This is one legendary. He's using him as damage dealer. Again, I would not recommend this because I'm not really sure what kind of damage he's getting out of here. But who knows, maybe it could be decent, but I just don't think it's the best option, personally. We have this guy from Blade Runner. He's kind of running like a weird mix here. He's got evasive actions, maybe more tanky in a way. Let's see. Let's look at one more here. Here he's got level 41. Yeah, and he's got it into the more defensive end with the agility to get his for the plus 12 in the initiative stat to increase some of this stuff. All right. Well, that'll do it for looking at other people's Hirgons. So that kind of goes over everything that Hirgon's all about. So with that, let's go put Hirgon on our tier list. Okay, guys, welcome back to our tier list where we have Merry and Pippin and Ugthak in the crazy tier because there are some bad commanders. But remember, all because the commander is bad does not mean they cannot be used to some success in this game. Just in my opinion, you're a little crazy for wanting to use these two commanders. Alright, so with that being said, we're going to add a new commander today, Hirgon. And for the first time, we're going to have a commander not in the crazy tier. He's going to be the first commander to be in the insane tier. You are absolutely insane if you want to use Hirgon. You are someone that enjoys pain and suffering. You're also someone who is allergic to winning. I respect the love for Gondor, though. It basically comes down to two things. He doesn't do damage as a damage dealer, and even though he can be used as a tank, almost every other character that can tank is better than Hirgon. He is like the absolute worst in everything. And then also, initiative is not a stat you really want to be scaling by because there's only so much initiative you can get through items. So that doesn't really help. He does have very high initial initiative, but even still, the scaling's not going to be that great. All right, so unfortunately, that means he's in the insane tier. That basically wraps up today's episode 3 of our So You Want to Use series. So let's go ahead and spin that wheel to figure out who's going to be in episode 4. I'll see you guys there. All right, guys, welcome back to the wheel of choices. So far, we've only had epic commanders that start. I'm hoping to hopefully finally get a mythic commander or maybe even a legendary commander, but let's see. Let's see who's going to be in episode 4. Uh, like I said, Kieran's my favorite, so I'm excited when I get him, but let's see who it's going to be. It's going to be... All right, our first mythic commander, it's going to be on Auglurg. Well, guys, look forward to that, and I'll see you in episode 4. Until next time, this was zMetapod. I'm out.